Afternoon, everybody. Happy 4th of July. Well, thanks to a rain shower last night, getting the day off. Just driving around, looking at crops, looking at open ground that needs crops, all kinds of stuff. And by a day off, I mean all I had to do was still get up at 7 to go down, help feed cattle, make sure everything was okay there, check on some irrigation, and then now I'm spending the afternoon going and looking at crops and fields, trying to figure out a plan. But other than that, it's a day off, right? But there's an old saying, corn should be knee-high by the 4th of July. So I'm gonna go drive around, let's go take a look at some of our corn. We got some that's well above, some that, well, I don't know, it might be right at it. We're kind of all over the place. Now, if you're gonna look at corn, you gotta go to the stuff you planted first, right? So this corn was planted May 7th, first cornfield of the year. Just got a leaf in my hat. For us, and my personal preference, that's about 2 weeks later than I like. I like to hit about that April 20th, kind of in there. Just get it up and going, but with the way our weather was at the time, it was kind of sketchy whether to plant this or not. We basically pushed a lot of dirt to try and get this to moisture, and then had to pray for rain to get a nice even stand. We got the rain, we got a nice stand. It's doing pretty good. Now the height of it is slightly deceiving. I guess I should stand up here because it's a flood irrigated field, so it is furrowed. Pretty uniform field. Let me get back this way a little bit. It's not all this tall. As you can see, all of a sudden now it's getting a little shorter here as we get to the headland. And then as you go that way, there's a steep spot, so it gets even shorter. But yeah, so I'd say this fits the knee-high by 4th of July, huh? Let's go look at something kind of opposite of this. And this would be our shortest corn. This poor field is off to a truly brutal start. So we had to scramble like crazy to get this in by the plant deadline. And we planted it into dry ground because the wheat had already taken the moisture out. So we planted into bone dry ground, and we knew it was going to be a little over a week before we'd have water for it. But it's one of those deals you're dealing with insurance. Just get it in before the deadline and then figure out after that. So we got it in, I don't know, it's mid-shin, almost knee-high. So it's coming along. The heat they're predicting this week, this field's gonna pop. Bart just put an inch of water on it. Sprinkler went across this, went across feed that was just planted, now is heading across hay. So it'll start coming along pretty nice, but she's definitely a little ways behind the last one. So this field is pretty typical of the majority of the corn. Right at waist high. Growing like crazy. Using up water like crazy. So nice to get out in the field and actually look across it. It's so pretty. Alright, let's go talk about another crop. Here is our next big crop coming along. So, wheat, harvested, done. Spring trit, harvested, done. Oats, harvested, done. Corn, it's all growing, it's all sprayed. Hopefully, other than having to spray for mites, hopefully that is done. Now we got this, forage sorghum. I think last count, between Hector and I, mostly Hector, but I've planted a little bit, so I'm going to take some credit. We're up to about 750 acres of this stuff and still going. Hopefully by the end of the week we're done planting. But as you look around, there's a lot of stuff growing that isn't growing in these rows. You know, here comes some late stuff, but you know, this guy, good old bindweed. That stuff is horrible. Pigweed's coming. We got lots of little weeds starting to get going in this. So my next big project will probably be getting across a lot of this with the sprayer. When did we last see the agronomist? Was it early on last week? So we'll see him probably mid to late week this week. And I'm sure he'll have a list of fields for me. Get after these. So I always joke our silage harvest, spring and fall, it is just an all-out sprint for the most part. Every once in a while it's slowed down. But for the most part, you know, we just went through, as I joke, we went through a 6-week sprint to now go to a 6-week marathon that is haying, to then go back to a 10-week sprint, which is fall silage, because our normal fall run is mid-August to first part of November. See this strip right here? This is what happens when the big chief sets the stop on the sprinkler when you're coming to plant and gets the sprinkler way over here. Couldn't plant that, it was too muddy and a sprinkler in my way. Because yeah, that's one of the like 4 fields I've planted. But anyways, so we went from a sprint to now we're going into our marathon, and then it'll be back to a sprint to finish off the year. All of July, it's basically spraying the late crops, spraying alfalfa, because pigweeds really like to get going in the alfalfa this time of year. Doing a lot of maintenance on the farms, you know, mowing, spraying ditches, stuff like that. But the biggest thing is swathing, raking, baling, and moving bales. Cameron and I baled those 45 acres down there yesterday. I made 130 some bales. It was insane. But it turned a nice, relaxing start of a Saturday into a long afternoon. I think I got done helping Blanca pick up the bales a little after 5 last night. So it's not as crazy intense as silage, but baling, man, it just feels like it's every day. In fact, while I'm thinking about it, let's go check the field and see if we can bale tomorrow. I was just driving along, noticed the edge of this field. I can see all these little circles sticking out into the feed. That idiot sprayer guy, he got corn chemical out here on the feed and killed the feed. What a moron. Oh wait, that's me. Son of a gun, I can't even blame anybody else. Pretty bad when your old 2004 sprayer had better controls than your 2014. Oh, one of those things. I thought I was slowing down enough at the turns, waiting on the booms to shut off, because I'm having hell with the nozzles not wanting to shut off. I've replaced the rubber diaphragm, started replacing caps. I guess the next thing now is the actuators that turn the section on and off, because definitely can't have that. So what it would be is I'd be coming along and I'd be turning on this edge and my boom would swing way out here, and it's just dripping chemical, it looks like, because it didn't kill everything, although right here it killed 90% of it. Oh man, that's frustrating. Now you can see it a lot better this way, looking away from the sun. So apparently that part of the boom was shut off, but this part out here must have still been putting out quite a bit. That sucks. Might have to come make a pass here with the planter. Put out another, which we don't even have that variety anymore. We'll just put something out, try and get something growing here. Okay, now let's go look at the hay. I need to go look at something better than this. This is depressing. Okay, now that I'm done looking at that disaster, let's check hay. So first thing you want to do is always do this in the heat of the day so you can actually tell what you're dealing with. You flip it over and you feel for moisture. There's a little bit right there. This can be raked tomorrow morning, baled tomorrow night. Beautiful. And thus, we dive back into hay. Never really wasn't in hay, but now it's fully hay. So with that being said, guys, yeah, things are going to be a little bit different now for the next month and a half, 2 months. Like I said earlier, today is the 4th of July. I've got another 3 or 4 harvest videos that are going to come out before this one. So this one won't come out till somewhere around the 10th-ish. No, that's not even far enough out. I don't know. 14th, somewhere around there is when this video will come out. And starting with this one, unless something changes, videos are going to slow down, because 3 a week right now is kind of a lot. So I'm gonna go check another hayfield. Go say hi to everyone at the liquor store. I haven't seen them in a few days. They're probably missing me. With that being said, guys, talk to you in the next video.